I wanted to do a quick video on some natural ways to decrease inflammation. As a therapist, a question I get a lot of times is, what are some different ways I can reduce my pain and decrease inflammation in the body? A lot of times people want to turn to pain medication, injections, things where they're putting something external in their body. And sometimes the answer is much simpler than that. So one area I always like to ask about is, what's your diet? Do you drink enough water, and what kinds of foods are you eating? Because oftentimes the foods that we're putting in our body can increase inflammation in our system. So I just want to go over a quick list of foods, things that are going to increase inflammation in the body, and it can make your pain worse. If you're eating foods that cause your system to react, that's going to increase pain in your joints, and it's going to make it difficult to heal too if you have an injury. So not only does your diet influence the amount of inflammation in the body, it's going to prevent you from healing if you are trying to overcome an injury. So some quick things I want to go over are what does cause inflammation. So listen to the list and think, are you eating these foods on a daily basis or even on a weekly basis? And are there some ways you can eliminate them from your diet? So first off is sugar. Sugar is a big one because this is going to increase inflammation, and it's going to make it difficult to heal from certain things. Next, we have common cooking oils, so vegetable and sunflower oils. You want to try and avoid those, and if you can switch to something such as olive oil or coconut oil, those are a great alternative. Next, eliminate trans fats. So that's what you're going to get in your deep fried foods, or if you tend to go out to eat a lot, it's difficult to control the amount of trans fats, especially if you're eating at restaurants. Next is processed meats. So are you eating lunch meats? Are you eating those prepackaged foods that you don't have to cook? Those are loaded with toxins and preservatives, which also increase inflammation in the body. Next is alcohol. How often do you consume alcohol? A lot of times, a glass of wine here and there isn't too bad, but if you're regularly consuming alcohol on the weekends in larger amounts, that can definitely lead to inflammation and delayed healing. Next is processed grains. Are you eating white bread, processed packaged breads, cookies, crackers, muffins? Those are going to increase inflammation. And finally, artificial sweeteners. We know we want to eliminate sugar, but also are you eating foods that might have MSG or sucralose? A lot of times that's hidden in your diet sodas or just flavored beverages. So eliminating those are always very beneficial. A list of foods you want to include and maybe try to swap out, use these as alternatives. These are actually known to reduce inflammation in the body. So if you can eliminate those bad foods and then start to eat the good foods, that's really going to be beneficial. So on my list here, I have green leafy vegetables, things like spinach and kale. You can add that in smoothies. You can saute it up with your dinner, or just make a big salad in the evening. Some other good ones are bok choy, celery, beets, broccoli. For fruits, blueberries and pineapple are great. And then you also have salmon, bone broth, walnuts, coconut oil, which is a great, again, alternative to the vegetable oils, chia seeds, flaxseed, turmeric, and ginger. A quick note on turmeric, there's been some great studies done on that to help decrease inflammation. It's also been linked to decreased depression. So just adding a little bit of that to flavor your food, your chicken. There's even some great recipes online about a turmeric milk. It does really well when you combine it with that spice. So here's some things. Hopefully this list helps, and hopefully you can try to implement some changes in your diet and stay consistent with it. You can't just do this for a day or two and think it's going to make a difference. You have to really stick to it for a few weeks to eliminate some of those toxins out of your system if you are eating some of the bad foods. Stick to it for, at least 4 weeks and see if it makes a difference. Thanks.